Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Jordy and I'm here to do a general tarot card reading for the Pisces collective. Thank you so much for all the well wishes in the previous video. I really appreciate all of your love and support. And thank you so much for commenting below and for liking the video and sharing the video, subscribing, all of that. It really, makes this channel keep on going. So, we're going to use the This Might Hurt Tarot deck. Kind of getting used to using this deck now. I might switch it up sometime, but we'll see what's going on today. So you're on the verge of a breakthrough here. You've got the Hanged One reversed and you have the Tower reversed. This is when you've been thinking about doing something for a long time, or you've been kind of in a rut. You've been holding yourself back in some way, and the universe has been pushing at you or shaking things up in your life in order to get you out of this mode. This mode of holding back, of thinking things over, of ignoring what you need to do. I feel like there's been moments where the universe has tested you and put you under great stress and strain. And I also feel like the universe has tested you in other ways, like with boredom or with apathy or with monotonous routine, and whatever mode you've been stuck in, whether it's crisis or whether it's depression or anything in between, there was a purpose to it all. There's a breakthrough that's going to happen, and I can see that that's happening now. So some things we always, sometimes we wish for the Tower moment, for that divine intervention, but a lot of the times it has to happen through us, through our own action and intention. The intention happens before the action, usually. Even if you just start acting, maybe the intention will line up anyway. That's what I'm hearing. Acting is more important than the intention behind it at this time, because it's going to get you out of that mode anyway. You may realign your intentions. We've got the Nine of Swords and we have the Magician. So the Magician is when we're manifesting from a powerful state. When we have multiple opportunities to go about something in a specific way. It represents our skills, our talents, our gifts. And then the Nine of Swords talks about fear, guilt, worry. So it's not necessarily a question of whether you're capable of something. It's the fear, the guilt, the worry, possibly even the trauma associated with getting unstuck and working towards this thing. Whether it's being in a relationship with somebody, or starting a career, or a spiritual pursuit of some sort. There could be multiple things you want to shift in your life, but really it's going to start with one step forward. What is going to improve your life in the most consistent way is what I'm hearing. Consistency is key. So your first card is the Four of Swords. We have the Moon. We have the Seven of Pentacles. In the recent past is the Nine of Pentacles, and in the distant past is the Six. In the future is the 10. We've got a lot of pentacles going on here. Representing you is transformation and death. We have a Scorpio new moon. Didn't we just have a Scorpio new moon? I think we did. We have the Eight of Cups here. We have the Six of Cups. The Eight of Cups is in the environment. The Six of Cups is in the fears and desires. And the outcome is the Three of Swords. Underneath the bottom of the deck is the Five of Swords reversed. Oftentimes when I see an outcome like the Three of Swords, it means you're either removing yourself from something or separating yourself from something, or that the current outcome based off of the trajectory that you're on leads to depression, sadness, or heartache. Now, does that mean you're doomed to this, that that's the only outcome in your reading? No. It just means that there's some things to change and transform, like that death card, or you're going to feel that way, whatever feelings you have, consistently, until you change something consistently in your life. So let's look at the cards. In the past, you had it's funny, you got some money cards here. So it's almost like you had the Six of Pentacles, which is balanced, which is kind of when you're spending more than what you're bringing in, but you have enough to spend. Like, it's not like a super abundant card, but you're definitely spending a lot and you're bringing in a lot. Or, it's just as fast as you're making it, you're spending it kind of card. And then that could be energy, that could be spiritual reserves, that could be, emotions that you're spending, or effort. But then it got to a point in the recent past where you reached a deficit, Nine of Pentacles reversed. Like you're scraping the bottom of the barrel, so to speak, when it comes to energy, resources, or money, or even time that you've used in this hanged one position, which we were talking about, where you were kind of suspended, not necessarily moving forward in a certain way in your life, stalling even. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles reversed, which is the card that I usually see as running out of time, like the pressure's on. It's also a Saturnian influenced card, and that talks about like harsh lessons and disciplinary energy from the universe. So to me, it's almost as if the story is going like this. You were receiving in the past, things were flowing, maybe more than they're flowing right now, but then you kept spending while you were receiving, and eventually the receiving ran dry and the spending kept happening, and then you reached a deficit, and then you reached a point where you've spent all of your reserve in some way, whether it was money, time, energy, or all of the above. And then at this point, a lot of time has passed, many moons, Moon and Seven of Pentacles next to each other, where you've had to sleep with a lot of stress. You never quite got the full rest that you needed, kind of sleeping with one eye open here, always nervous as when the next problem's going to come up, kind of having to take care of business even during your downtime, never truly relaxing. You can see how the cycle's perpetuating itself. It's like you ran dry in some area of your life, and then you have to just kind of work with the bare minimum. Well, if you look at the second line in your reading, in the future is the Ten of Pentacles reversed. I mean, this card is super abundant, but it's reversed. It's next to the Death card. I want to say that this is like the old roots of a beautiful, gigantic tree finally dying. Like the family tree, so to speak, next to the Death card, because there's death next to this Ten of Pentacles. So I want to say that like your association to a career path, or even to a family, or to a relationship, or to a specific karma that you're going through, like your association to that karma, the time has run out, that karma's done. So your specific pathway that you were on, which may have started back when you were spending a lot and receiving a lot and just exchanging a lot of energy between yourself and the universe. It's like you overspent, you over received, You went through a dry period. Lots of time was spent in a state of stress, low energy, low vibrational thinking the next problem's going to come up because the receiving has run out. Well, what I'm seeing is that has been the tail end of a major cycle that's closing in your life that was rooted within lack, rooted within family dynamics that were taught and learned and passed on generation to generation, even through social media or through TV, because we used to watch TV back then, through the books that we read, through what we learn while we're in school from the social dynamics. Some part of you had to end, some thought form, some fear that you had. And if we continue looking down this line here, we have the Eight of Cups and the Death card. So both very strong Scorpio energies. Although Eight of Cups is technically a Pisces card, to me it's very Scorpionic. It's like that desire for more, that longing for more. The Eight of Cups is actually a gorgeous energy because when you're walking away from what's no longer satisfying you and you're searching for something more fulfilling, and it's looking towards the Six of Cups reverse. So there's nothing in the past that's going to fulfill you the way that it did before. And then the outcome is separation and sorrow and grief over that. So currently, after I've talked about what we've talked about so far, you might be in a space of mind where it's like, yeah, Jordy, that resonates with me, but what do I do about this? Well, the advice in the reading is in the Eight of Cups. Like, there's only moving forward. Situations from the past have changed with that Six of Cups, Nine of Pentacles reverse. Relationships have dwindled. Opportunities have faded away. Time has been passed. Health has declined. Whatever your situation is, it sounds kind of grim. But that's because that was an old cycle, an old period of karma that you completed. And there's new opportunities out there. You're still alive. You're still breathing. I resonate with this message as well. Things have been quite dull for a little while for me. And stressful, And I want to say that you have to remove yourself from that energy. You have to do this to yourself, this Three of Swords. Like, cut away that cycle or remove yourself from it by moving in a new direction. And there are gems from the past. There are parts of yourself that you discovered along your way, maybe in the past 10 years with this Ten of Pentacles, or last 30 years for some of you, or 20 years or whatever. There were some gems. There were some bright points, some pieces that were specifically meant for you and weren't part of the storyline for everybody else. Look at those things and rediscover them now. You may not have fulfilled your fullest potential with some of the beautiful things that came across your path in the last cycle because you were consistently in the flow and running after a dwindling abundance in some sort, in some form of fashion, You were chasing the dragon, so to speak. And now it's time to sit, recollect yourself, separate yourself from that cycle, and wake up the next day and start doing some of the things that bring you that light again. And that's what I'm getting here. No more double thinking it, triple thinking it, quadruple thinking this over. Here we are again, another card of you considering things but not really following through with them. Let's see what the advice is. Well, that's beautiful. You got the King of Pentacles. Mastery in abundance. Mastery in the material world. You've gained so much from this cycle that you don't even know yet, even if it's been a really long cycle. The fact that you've been chasing abundance in a cycle that's been dying off in your life is poor business sense, so to speak. Like trying to get something out of something that wasn't working for a long time, that's not going to work. But as soon as you detach from this previous cycle and start looking towards what really wants to grow in your life, like your spirituality, like your education, or the relationships that have been around but you haven't put that much time and energy towards them, maybe even health routines, reading those books you've always wanted to read. Nurture those things, and then you're going to see that a lot of abundance comes out of that experience. Some of you are heading towards a major reevaluation and then a major movement forward. So even just by taking a few steps towards reigniting those bright spots in your life, realizing that there were some gems in the past cycle, even though the cycle may have been difficult, and reigniting those things, kicking them into gear, revving them up, with all that motorcycle language here, you're going to have a big epiphany. It's not even just an epiphany that we were talking about with that hanged one and the tower moment. The epiphany might be this reading, but what we're actually seeing is a whole systemic reevaluation of what is possible with the Judgment reversed. And then after that, there's all the movement you've been looking for, the Eight of Wands, and with your head on straight, your mind clear. So that's beautiful. Alright, we're not going to go through the individual card pairings today. We kind of did a different style of reading where I read horizontally instead. So we'll just leave it there. Alright, thank you, and I'll see you again soon.